Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Marina Grossu from Washington, D.C. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. In Rome, the opening prayer of the Synod's 16th Ordinary General Assembly was dedicated to world peace on Thursday morning. Iraqi Cardinal Louis Raphael Sacco of the Chaldean Catholic Church led the day's prayer by seeking peace for all people suffering from war, especially in the Holy Land, and also in Ukraine, Iraq, Iran, and Lebanon. The Cardinal called for prayer, fraternity, and solidarity with those suffering. He said the people are waiting with much hope to live in dignity and fraternity, and not always in fear and concern. Meanwhile, Latin American bishops also prayed for the victims, their families, and friends. According to the latest media reports, more than 3,000 deaths have been recorded in the ongoing Hamas-Israel conflict. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visited Israel to express strong solidarity with the nation and to urge restraint to protect Palestinian civilians as the Israeli bombarding of Gaza continues. Following his arrival in Tel Aviv on Thursday, Blinken greeted Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and reassured him, "We're here, we're not going anywhere." Netanyahu praised Blinken's visit as a tangible example of America's unequivocal support for Israel. His visit came after Hamas militants launched an attack on Israel on Saturday. Over the past 6 days, Hamas has killed over 1,300 Israelis and kidnapped hundreds more. Meanwhile, the U.S. government started evacuating its citizens from Israel through charter flights. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby said the U.S. government would provide charter flights to assist U.S. citizens. Social media platform X of Elon Musk has removed hundreds of Hamas-linked accounts and has either taken down or labeled thousands of pieces of content since the militant group launched attacks on Israel. This was announced by ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino on Thursday after EU's digital rights chief Thierry Breton gave X 24 hours to outline how the platform would meet the bloc's new digital norms. Since the conflict in Israel broke out, hundreds of photos and videos of the carnage have flooded the social media platform, including footage of Hamas fighters taking terrified Israelis hostages. Posts from users are also pushing false claims and misrepresenting videos from other events. Ever since Musk bought Twitter last year and renamed it X, accounts that subscribe to Blue Check service can get paid if their posts go viral. This has created a financial incentive to post whatever gets the most reaction on social media. In spite of recent decline in popularity among Asian Americans, Christianity remains the most common religion, according to a Pew Research Centre study. Pew reported that over a third of Asian American adults say their present religion is Christianity. Pew surveyed Chinese, Filipino, Japanese, Indian, Korean, and Vietnamese Americans for the survey. The findings were derived from 20 focus groups and 5 one-on-one interviews with more than 100 Asian American adult participants held between April and July of this year. The percentage of Asian Americans who identify as Christians has decreased from 42% in 2012 to 34% today. The last time Pew surveyed Asian Americans extensively about their religious affiliation. More than half of Asian Americans express a connection to Christianity in the most recent study, either directly or indirectly through family or culture. The United States condemned the deportation of a well-known human rights lawyer from Laos to his home country, China, on Wednesday. The U.S. State Department demanded information about his whereabouts and assurances that the ailing activist would have access to medical care. Lu Siwei was one of the lawyers from Hong Kong who tried to escape the city by boat to Taiwan in 2020. However, Siwei was returned to China last month and is likely to face legal ramifications after being arrested by Laotian police in July while traveling to Thailand. His relatives informed Amnesty International that he is currently being held in a jail in Sichuan in southwest China. Siwei was accused of making inappropriate remarks on the internet and seriously damaging the reputation of the legal profession. In the U.S., more than 360 pro-life groups have asked the UN General Assembly to block President Joe Biden's nominee to the International Court of Justice because of her support for abortion. Sarah Cleveland tried to impose so-called new human rights that were never contemplated by sovereign nations, including on abortion and transgender issues. The group said that her decision as a member of the most powerful court in the world will reach far beyond the International Court of Justice. They also expressed concern that courts and activists around the world would cite them as binding jurisprudence. The group said Cleveland abused her position as a human rights expert to promote controversial social policies as if they were international human rights, including abortion, homosexual unions, and transgenderism. In the United States, Border Patrol has reported a spike in encounters between terror watch list suspects trying to illegally cross the border and law enforcement agents this fiscal year compared to the former fiscal year. Data from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection reveal that in the 2023 fiscal year, 151 individuals on the terrorist screening dataset were apprehended at the border with Mexico. The webpage of the terrorist watch list was last updated on September 15th. This means that even more suspected terrorists might have crossed the U.S.-Mexico border in the last few weeks of the fiscal year. The number of suspected terrorists intercepted at the border marks a record and follows 3 years of consistent increase in the number of such incidents. In the 2022 fiscal year, there were 98 known encounters at the southwest border. The public policy statement on gender ideology by U.S.-based Catholic Medical Association garnered significant attention during its 92nd annual education conference held in Phoenix, Arizona. A prominent figure at the event, Dr. Patrick Hunter, emphasized the inadequacy of the current treatment approach for mental health illnesses related to gender dysphoria. The combination of surgical procedures and hormone medications commonly given to those who are undergoing gender transition was deemed inadequate in safety or care. The latest findings have provided clear evidence that sex reassignment has a significant effect on the delicate balance between an individual's physical and spiritual identities. In addition, the article sheds light on the interventions that have faced criticism due to their potential to cause structural and functional harm to healthy body parts, which could have long-lasting and irreversible consequences. According to the research, gender reassignment interventions breach the fundamental order of the human person's body and soul wholeness, and gender dysphoria's assumption that people may rebuild themselves based on their feelings is detrimental. In a recent development, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has unveiled a set of new guidelines regarding gender identity. It mandates that employees acknowledge and honor the gender identity and preferred pronouns of their colleagues. In a recent email addressed to employees, it was revealed that a new rule has been put into effect by the department as a result of the department's recently issued gender identity and non-discrimination guidance. After a brief controversy, the crucifixes have finally returned to the classrooms of a middle school in Italy's Carpi. In recent days, a group of parents and teachers had asked the director, Federica Anzalone, to restore crucifixes to their rightful place after they were removed from classrooms during the summer renovation. In a letter sent to the principal, they demanded the reason for their removal and expressed disappointment with the initial decision. General Director of the Regional School Office for Emilia-Romagna, Stefano Versari, said that it was all a misunderstanding. When the news of the crucifix removal surfaced, Anzalone sent a written communication to the Regional School Office assuring that no one had ordered their removal. The principal also made it clear that there was no ongoing battle against crucifixes. In a commendable effort to address the global food crisis, the British Catholic charity group CAFOD recently penned a letter to the World Bank. In the letter, CAFOD appealed the financial institution to lend its support in repairing the world's food system, particularly by protecting farmers' crucial seed preservation rights. The letter has been signed by the Catholic bishops, as well as a considerable number of nearly 70,000 committed Catholics from 750 parishes in England and Wales. CAFOD's Fix the Food System campaign is urging the UK government and other institutions to protect farmers' basic rights to conserve, use, trade, and sell seeds. The Pakistani government has reconstructed more than 20 churches destroyed in an August mob attack on Christians in a town in Faisalabad. The authorities have said that money has been distributed to affected families. Authorities assert that they have rebuilt the majority of the churches and compensated more than 80 persons whose homes were destroyed by the violent Muslim mob. According to Deputy Commissioner of Faisalabad, Abdullah Nayar Sheikh, the government has spent over $443,649 to restore all of the affected churches. Additionally, the government has distributed $572,450 to 80 affected families by paying $7,200 to each family's head. And those are your latest headlines. Join us again on Monday for more. You can also visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.